Learn about real estate and become a millionaire. Robert Kiyosaki. Some time ago at a seminar held in Dallas, Texas on real estate, I was the guest speaker. Suddenly, a man around 60 years old approached me. He had heard me say that my rich dad taught me to be a real estate investor by playing Monopoly. The formula for building great wealth is to buy 4 green houses and turn them into a red hotel. This gentleman approached me with a very striking concern and said, "Should I turn my houses into hotels?" Naturally, I asked him how many houses he had. He took a moment to think and said, "A little over 700. I asked him to sit down with me. I did this to find out more about him. This way I could learn that he was a rancher from West Texas who, over the past 40 years, had bought a considerable number of houses each year to rent them out. He had lived through the ups and downs of the oil and livestock industries in West Texas. During economic crises, he bought houses from people with financial problems and occasionally rented them to those same people. As his cash flow grew, he just bought more houses, most for less than $65,000, and he never sold a single one. At the time of our conversation, he was already earning an average of $200 a month in cash flow per house. I, who have been in the investment world for quite some time, couldn't help but be surprised. It was impressive. I was astounded. This man receives more than $145,000 in monthly income, over $1 million a year, just from his rental properties. He told me, "That's why I came to ask if you think I should start selling some of my greenhouses and buy some red hotels. Buying those little greenhouses takes a lot of time, and I like your idea of buying bigger buildings so I won't have to buy as much." My reaction to this was to shake my head and laugh. I told him that for the next seminar, I would like him to be the speaker and me the listener. Then I gave him the name and phone number of my financial advisors. I suggested he call them and also told him that he was on a much higher level than me. While this man was thanking me for the phone numbers, my mind went back 40 years to the time when my rich dad played the Monopoly board game with me. The fact is, I played with little green plastic houses, but that man played with real houses. It's completely crazy. The statistics from the U.S. Department of Health, Education, and Welfare say that by the age of 65, out of 100 people, 1 was very rich, 4 were very well off, 5 still had to work out of necessity, 54 lived with support from their family or the government, and 36 had already died. It seems to me that one of the reasons only 1 in 100 people has amassed great wealth is that most of these people were not able to change when they needed to. I'm more than sure that many of them wanted to change, but were paralyzed by fears and doubts such as, what if the market crashes? What if I make a mistake? What if I can't pay off the debt? Many people cannot change because their doubts make them prisoners. Nowadays, there are young people who earn millions of dollars through the internet without even finishing their studies. These young people have never had a job and may never need one. Whenever you owe someone money, you become an employee of their money. For example, if you take out a 30-year loan, you automatically become their employee for 30 years. When my rich dad borrowed money, he did everything possible not to be the one paying the loans. Understand that this is the key. He explained to his son Mike and me that good debts are those that someone else pays for you, while bad debts are paid by oneself. His fondness for rental properties was based on the idea that the bank gives you the loan, but it's the tenant who pays it back. A genius move in the investment world. Imagine you find a very beautiful house for sale in a decent neighborhood. This house needs some repairs. It's surrounded by other well-maintained houses, the area is safe, and it's right next to a local public university. The owner wants to retire and move somewhere warm and secluded, and he is asking $110,000 for his house. You negotiate a bit with him until you agree on a price of $100,000. You already have $10,000 saved in your bank account, so now you need a mortgage of at least $90,000. However, you decide to request a mortgage of $100,000 because with those additional $10,000, you can cover the closing costs and repair expenses. You will request a $100,000 mortgage without any collateral assets, but the bank would reject it. However, with the backing of the house's property, the bank will gladly finance it since their business is loans, and they will finance it if they know there is collateral value to secure the loan. They will give you a 30-year mortgage at a 6% rate. They want those $10,000 as a down payment, and you give it to them. Once you include your property taxes, your monthly mortgage payment will be around $700. But if you've been paying attention to what I've been saying, you shouldn't become an employee of that bank loan for the next 30 years. The best strategy is to have someone else pay your debt. My rich dad suggested that as soon as you close the deal and own the house, start calling that local university to inform their students that you already have a house available for rent. Now, suppose you decide to charge $1,000 a month in rent. If the house has 4 rooms, it could easily accommodate 4 students, each paying $250 a month. That's a very modest price, even for the most frugal students. The good news here is that your rental property earns you $1,000 a month, and your mortgage payment is only $700, so your net gain is $300 a month. That net gain is what is known as passive income. This means that you don't do any work to pay it off. It's someone else, in this case your tenants, who pay your 30-year mortgage. And best of all, you earn an additional $300 each month. Interesting, right? And now you have a monthly profit plus a property. It's not that complicated. Anyone can do it if they don't let their fears get the best of them. Thank you, successful friends. These were Robert Kiyosaki's last words at the Texas conference. Seeing all this and analyzing the rancher's story, we are facing a real estate investment strategy. It seems that this man has acquired a large number of houses over the years and rented them out, generating a significant monthly cash flow. The key to his strategy is to use bank financing to acquire the properties while the tenants pay the mortgage through the monthly rent. This has allowed the rancher to accumulate a large number of properties and generate substantial passive income. The story highlights the importance of thinking big and considering strategies that increase cash flow and minimize individual effort.